But when he came back, like, it was a running gag. It was pretty cool.
What's up, fanboys and fangirls?
Wow, look at the shade
back.
of colors. Like, we are very much in the same place.
We're kind of on a similar palette, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are.
Feels kind of military. Are we wearing black shorts too?
Yeah.
Yeah. For the Imperium.
Who's playing over there, Luke?
Sorry, I throw the volume on. Jets, Niners.
Oh, that's right.
Orioles, Red Sox as well.
Okay, so these guys are watching sports tonight.
I've got very low quality though, so it won't interrupt the stream. Like I can barely.
I'm amazed you even are connected to the Wi-Fi.
They're not wearing jersey.
Well,
they don't
I
have
had to
jersey
reconnect.
numbers. They're not wearing, like, they don't have jersey numbers. It's just red and white.
Yeah, they're just
like, that's the only thing we
they're
can
just
see.
like red and white pixels.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on Let Me Watch.
We're watching
watch some weird movie.
We're watching Tecmo Bowl in real time.
Oh,
Wait, I forgot Debo's number 1 now. I keep forgetting he changed. Sorry, carry on.
No, all good.
Sports and stuff.
All good. Welcome back to another episode. We're live streaming here Monday night. So yeah, we'll probably have some comments on sports games that are happening.
I was texting Andy today, actually.
Dude, I think of that every Sunday night during the song.
That's
Sorry, inside jokes over
Yeah.
here.
It's all good.
Perfect for podcasting.
Yep.
An inside joke in between only 2 of the members.
No, it's
Love that
all
for us.
good. It's all good. Yeah. So before we jump into our main review, which is gonna be Rebel Ridge, there's some. I have a large list of trailers. We didn't really have time to talk about it.
Oh, I
before
only
the
have
show.
3. I'm glad you have more.
Well, we'll see how many we've all watched.
I've watched 3.
Tyler's watched 0.
I've watched one of the ones listed.
All right, Luke, lead us off. What do you got?
The trailer of the week, honestly. Minecraft.
The gift that keeps on giving.
This movie should not be happening.
Yeah, I think the internet, like, it's the first time it's fully agreed ever since the Sonic trailer released, which is change this immediately, and it's now
Cancel this.
cancel this movie.
Yeah.
Or I've also seen probably 90% of the people seeing it go, oh, this is just Borderlands 2.
Ooh.
So, I've seen the kind of the 2 camps on what they dislike about this movie. One is just the tone, maybe the casting, like it just doesn't look like might be a good movie, and the other is what are these horrid nightmare fuel graphics? Like, not the CGI itself, quality wise, I don't think looks terrible, but like the block, which I don't know what you expect. You're gonna get blocky Minecraft figures,
Yeah.
But like, it is a weird thing to see that sheep with the square head.
Oh,
Yeah.
but Jack Black's normal.
Steve.
Sure, whatever. Could care less.
Who is Minecraft Steve? Is he like the main dude on the cover with the blue shirt?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Is there like some lore there? Like,
No, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the.
Now I'm interested.
I'm not familiar with Minecraft enough to.
I need
to
a
know
Bife
anything.
video on Minecraft.
I am not as turned off by the visual and the look of it as much as I am like what I'm seeing chemistry wise with the little interaction we have, admittedly, with like the cast, the kids, Jason Momoa and Jack Black.
I'm just turned
like-
off by the concept as a whole.
It's
Like-
2024. I don't know what we're expecting.
Like, I watched the trailer and I was like, what are we even doing? Like, why are we doing this?
We're laundering money.
It's like,
That's what we're doing.
Sonic was a success, so
we go to
so
Minecraft?
so it's one of the most popular games in the world. Why wouldn't you farm that IP?
why is it popular?
I'm
Is it
not
'cause of
saying
the
it was the
story?
right decision. I'm saying it was an executive level decision.
Like, it's popular because you can do a bunch of dumb stuff with your friends.
Maybe that's what the characters are doing. No, they're doing the we got sucked into a video game thing, which is...
It feels
Jumanji
very. It
all
feels
over
yeah.
again.
It just looks like Jumanji for sure.
But not as good.
For sure. So.
Definitely. Watch, it's probably going to be amazing.
It's just going to be an absolute
Like, I've
banger.
never been so just, like, heartwarmed by a movie. And it's Minecraft.
I hope. Like, that'd be a great
I love
turn.
it. I would love it.
I think
Like, I'll never not want good movies, right? Like if there's an opportunity for a good movie there, great. But like this trailer is not giving me that vibe.
I won't lie. Sometimes I kind of hope a movie's bad. We won't talk about that though.
Yeah.
Joker 2.
Joker.
Well, I think you're gonna get your wish, judging by the way people are talking about it.
I do kind of like the conversation that's going on right now on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody retweeted somebody else, and they're like, "Why are people complaining? It's a movie for 6-year-olds." And then people have just been sharing clips from like a Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Dude, my kid's obsessed with that movie right now. It's
And
great.
it's like, oh, well, this was for
Puss in
6-year-olds too.
Boots.
Yeah.
Like, these banger movies and scenes that it's
And they're
like...
just scenes that are like, somebody showed what the Secret of Nim, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, some of these are actually kind of scary, or they're like hurt your soul and make you want to cry. It's like Paw Patrol's for 6-year-olds.
dude, yeah.
This can be both.
Yeah.
Like adults and parents have to take their kids to the movie.
I remember seeing a thing one time. It was like, just because a movie's for kids doesn't give it a pass to be bad.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And like, this
100%.
this is a prime example.
This, looks concerning for sure. So,
It's also been in development forever.
thumbs down for me on this
I
one.
feel like Momoa was cast in this like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
What is that dude's costume? Come on, what are we doing? I'm gonna need to explain that one before the movie comes out. Like, what are we doing? Come on.
No idea.
Very quickly, shout out Baroque in the chat. He says, preemptive apology for not being super active in the chat tonight. I have swarms of tyrannid filth to slay. Just make sure you're active later.
Those are
Swarms of tears.
Those are words that I don't understand.
We may talk about that a little
Is it
bit
a space
later.
marine?
Yeah, Space
Okay.
Marine too.
Those are the little like
That's the
horde
alien.
of
the
alien
Xenoses you're fighting. Yeah.
that there's like a million on screen at once.
Dude, if
Super
you
impressive.
so fun fact, if you never played World War Z, like it's the same engine. And World War Z was awesome. Like it was on Game Pass for a bit, and I downloaded it because I was like, I've heard cool things. And I started playing. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like the horde mechanics are really cool. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Sweet. Luke, what's the next trailer you got? Or do you just have smudgy glasses?
I have a fingerprint on my glasses. I can't get
Dude,
rid
you
of it.
need some spray? I got spray for you.
No, I'd rather use my breath and t-shirt.
Respect.
Probably has a little
Scratch
bit
that
of
glass.
Wendy's grease on it.
Scratch that glass with
Oh,
that
you had Wendy's tonight?
Yeah,
cotton.
I kind of went crazy too.
Good for
It was
you.
so good. Oh, so good. So bad for you. It's okay. I didn't hate myself this week to get McDonald's. Like
Yeah.
that allegation Brett threw out that one time was, hurtful.
Yeah.
But it was true.
I had
so.
McDonald's last night, baby.
Arcane Season 2 finally had like a full
Yes.
release trailer. I need it now.
Absolutely. Looks awesome.
I need it now. Looks brilliant.
Looks
fantastic.
amazing.
Beautiful.
I didn't watch this one because I still not watched the show.
Yes, I'm gonna throw you. Yeah.
Watch it over there in the corner.
It looks beautiful. Looks like it's gonna tear your heart out. Looks like it's gonna give you awesome action sequences. Like
Looks like it's going to piss me off when it ends.
Yeah.
Because this
It's
is the
over.
final season, right?
yeah.
It's the final story of
For
Vi and
this.
Jinx.
Oh,
Yeah.
these characters. Yeah, because they said they were going to do like a
Yeah, they're going to do other
anthology
characters
thing.
because there's 156 League of Legends characters. Imagine showing up late to that game. Yikes.
Get overwhelmed in Apex with their like
20.
yeah,
something
if
like
that 16 maybe.
But yeah, big thumbs up for Arcane Season 2.
Nice.
So, very
Agreed.
excited.
I'll thumbs it up just because they did.
Yeah, that's right. Peer pressure.
In solidarity.
The last trailer I have is Wolfman.
Yes, I have that one too.
I meant to watch this and I
This
didn't.
is from the oh shoot,
Lee
why can't
Whannell.
Lee Whannell.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yep.
Directed Upgrade. Directed
Invisible Man.
Two banger movies, by the way.
Yes. I gotta be honest. I didn't like this trailer, and I feel like I'm pretty against the grain on that.
Yeah.
And part of that is that we've seen the costume at
mm,
Fear Fest or something,
Yeah, they showed it.
and I hated the costume.
I don't think I've seen it.
It looks
weird.
Looks like an old man in a jumpsuit.
I bet it looks better in camera.
Probably.
It's not a wolf.
Yeah, it's like a dude. I think it'll still look better in camera, but it's like a
sure,
dude.
but it's not like okay.
No, it's. I'll see if I can pull up the picture.
And just I don't know. Part of me is just like, oh, it's a family at a house. You know, it'd be nice if it was like, I don't know, a town at least, so we could see some carnage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you would think.
No.
I'm not a fan. But
No.
Leigh Whannell's a good director. I've liked what I've seen so far from him, so I'm like still excited.
Trailer thumbs down, but like you're still excited for the movie.
Yeah.
Or anticipating the movie at least. Yeah.
It could still be good.
Yeah.
But
I thought this trailer looked. I thought it looked fine. I thought it looked good. I would say that it probably felt a little more.
It feels so small to me.
I just thought that it felt fairly. The trailer, like Blumhouse boilerplate, like it didn't feel like it was anything bigger than just another Blumhouse film. Which Blumhouse is great stuff.
Like
but
it's just at a house.
Yeah.
Or at least in the teaser, like it could always be more. Like,
yeah.
Is it just the really small teaser? Like minute 20?
Yeah, it's very short.
Minute 10?
Yeah.
I'm watching it right now, obviously with no sound, but I'm going to go back here in just a second. There is very clearly what looks like almost the exact same kitchen set from Invisible Man.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Gotta save them dollar bills in all kinds of ways. I don't know. So I think you're right, Luke. Like I probably am approaching this from
I don't remember the kitchen from Invisible Man. I haven't watched that movie since it's on theater.
It's just missing the island. Do you remember the kitchen?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, now your Wi-Fi stopped working.
Yeah, I had to remove that movie from my mind so I could remember other movies that have come out since. Like Joker.
So, a little bit of a, so we have some mixed reaction here from the guys.
From me.
I'm intrigued by what I've watched with no sound.
Yeah.
Just wait till you hear it. It's just the whole time.
Yeah, they got a baby to actually do the sound on it. I don't know why, but I've got a couple more trailers. Let's see. Amy Adams. We got a trailer for Night Bitch.
I didn't watch this. I saw it, but I forgot to.
I don't know what to think of this movie.
I've heard the trailer's really bad, but it's getting really good reviews.
I feel like I can't.
Do you think she's turning into a dog? Or something?
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of feels like something that you would see as a comedy in.
Like even the blocking and camera set is like almost the exact same.
Very similar, yeah. Like the first thing I thought of was like, Turning Red, or a Disney movie where a human character turns into, but obviously that's made for kids. There's a lot of humor involved. Brother Bear. This
Shaggy
is
Dog.
Brother Bear is phenomenal.
Dramatic, and
District 9.
It takes itself seriously. It seems like, but at the same time, I feel like the trailer is trying to have fun with it. So I think I just didn't get a real good sense of what the movie wants to be. So.
It's like almost the same.
Yeah, very, very much the same.
They're like, we'll just move it further down the hallway. It's fine.
So I'm like a sideways thumb. I love Amy Adams as an actress, just in terms. I think she's really, really talented, and so I think this could be fun or it could be emotionally draining. I haven't seen what the reviews are saying.
I've been hearing good things.
So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, but I do think the trailer had a issue with communicating what it actually was.
Like one of the things I saw
that
was
feels really common lately too.
Yeah.
I saw somebody and they're like, I am happy to say that this movie is so much better than the trailer let on.
Good.
I think the premise sounds fun.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. And I also too am a big fan of Amy Adams.
Yeah. I didn't watch it, but we did get another trailer for Megalopolis.
Megalopolis?
A
Megalopolis.
Fable.
Did you guys see it?
No.
Okay.
I saw that it came out. I didn't.
I only watch trailers for that movie if they've got fake AI quotes.
Fair enough.
I've just really tuned out of that discourse, honestly. Like, everything around it's just so, I don't know, discombobulated, I feel.
Yeah.
Which makes me not feel good about the movie at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I watch the trailers, not this one, but the previous trailers versus reading the synopsis, I do not get what that synopsis is telling me at all from the trailers.
Yeah.
So I just really don't know what the movie is or is trying to be, which is kind of a weird deal.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we were just saying.
Yeah.
Like, it feels more common now than ever.
Absolutely. The last one I have here that I did watch is an HBO original series called The Franchise. It's about a... I don't know if they're making... I couldn't tell if they're making a show or they're making a movie, like blockbuster movie, like superhero-esque type thing. But it's about like that production of a thing, very inside baseball for HBO to be making it. But I think it's...
HBO's making this.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funny. Because they make... because they're owned by Warner Bros. So.
Yeah. But it kind of feels like they've,
notoriously terrible at getting things to work.
HBO, though, I think has a different pedigree.
Yeah.
And, you look at things like Succession, something
I think it's more ironic.
Yeah, for sure. Like, the industry, I think it's trying to be along those kinds. It'll be funny. It'll have probably that,
Who's making it?
Who was it? I recognized some names on it, but I didn't write them down.
Sounds like it'd be a baseball.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Billy Magnuson's in it.
It sounds like it's the Hard Knocks spinoff.
A team trapped inside the dysfunctional hell of creating franchise superhero movies. At the end of the day, the question they face is this Hollywood's new dawn or cinema's last stand? Is this a dream factory or a chemical plant? Okay, it sounds pretty funny. It is a series. Hamish Patel's in it, Jessica Hines, Aya Cash, Billy Magnuson.
Oh yeah, Sam Mendes is
doing
it.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, he's directing.
I guess I have the internet. I could look this up myself.
I don't recognize anybody else, writing wise.
Yeah, and it is a comedy.
Daniel Brohl is in it.
Yeah, he's like the director.
That'll be fun. This actually sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's a good trailer. I give it a thumbs up for sure. So, a reason for me to keep...
Yeah, Billy Magnuson is playing like the star superhero with this ridiculously stupid costume.
It's awesome. I can't wait. Looks good.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, good trailer. Okay. If no more trailers, we will move on to our main topic, which Luke and I watched this weekend, Rebel Ridge.
Yeah, I want to watch this week, so if you guys can avoid spoilers.
We will not do any spoilers.
That would be
this is
phenomenal.
An awesome movie that I don't want.
And it has a crazy backstory.
Yeah.
Like with their lead actor and all that.
John Boyega was originally cast for this.
Homie just left.
Just pieced out.
Just checked out of his hotel and went home.
2 weeks into production, was it something like
that?
Yeah,
it's some crazy.
So it's Aaron
Pierre.
He's
stepped
freaking
in.
Awesome.
Apparently he's in something else coming out too, like here pretty quick.
Dee?
I don't know.
It's just the first thing on my screen.
Luke, I know you wrote a little bit, or you tend to write something for your Letterboxd reviews. Do you want to take a stab at what are your initial impressions for this?
I was on the edge of my seat the whole movie. It's a great crime thriller.
Mm-hmm.
There's action in it.
That's it. He got cast in the morning show.
Oh, nice.
But it's... You know what? All right. Two very different movies, and I'm going to compare them just to kind of illustrate what the movie's kind of like as far as tone kind of and pacing. Blade Runner 2049. It's not a lot of action, but when they start shooting, they are shooting. And it's intense, it's fast, and it's a flurry. But the movie is mainly talking and figuring things out. And what are we going to do? What's the plan? Sneaking around, investigating stuff. It's very intense for, I'd say, how little action is in it.
Yeah.
But man, when they start actually having to fight, it just goes to another level.
It's the film that makes the action count.
Yeah.
It knows what it is, in the sense of, like, it knows that it's a $25 million budget movie, right? Like, doesn't have $100 million to throw at stunts for 2.5 hours. It is something that's going to drive the story forward mostly with drama and tension. Some great relationship stuff in there. But, when it does kind of let loose and gives you action scenes, man, they're fun.
Yeah.
They're so fun to watch. They're incredibly well choreographed, and the stakes are always high. Like you said, like the pacing is really well done. You're kind of constantly on the edge of your seat, even when there's not a gunfight happening.
Yeah. And what was I gonna say? I just lost it. Shoot. I'll just go to a different point. Aaron Pierre, I think, is absolutely incredible. You might have been seeing it. Everybody's going, he should be Jon Stewart.
I was wondering.
And 100%, he would be the best cast for Jon Stewart.
Well, I think, like, now, like, this movie is really blowing up. Like, there's a lot of discussion about it. He just got cast in the morning show. Like, it would not surprise me.
Wouldn't that be crazy if John Boyega walking off set one day led to this guy,
like, just emerging,
getting to be Jon Stewart.
But the entire cast is fantastic. Don Johnson, who's playing the chief of this, like, corrupt police force.
Oh, he's such a dirtbag.
He's so
I feel like
good.
he's good at that, man.
He's so good at it.
Anna Sophia Robb, who I haven't seen in anything since, I think, Soul Surfer, which was like 15 years ago. She was in it, and I was just kind of taken aback for a bit because I didn't even know she was still acting. She's fantastic. She's kind of teaming up with Terry, who Aaron plays. But yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, the message of the movie is like the story / message. This dude shows up into this tiny little town, and the cops are all dirty.
Yeah.
And like, it's got a message, but it's amazing how it doesn't feel preachy. Like, if somebody was telling you about this movie,
oh yeah,
somebody would be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's relevant, I guess." And yeah, it is. It's very relevant to today.
Yeah.
But 5 minutes in, and you are locked into the story. You're just locked in because, like, it starts off with the bike accident that's in the trailer, and him talking to those the two cops. You're just like, okay, yeah,
David Denman and Emery Cohn are just what a fantastic pair for that.
Yeah.
And there's a Jenny is Jenny the police officer who's at the.
She's like the desk worker.
Yeah. She had great chemistry with him too.
She is the best line in the entire movie. I think he's on the Wikipedia page.
Jessica Sims, sorry, is her Officer Sims. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, we won't talk really about plot much just because we don't want to get into any spoilers, but yeah, like, really good writing. I think it's edited smartly.
It looks great. It doesn't look like a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
This is the least Netflix movie to come out on Netflix in like 4 years probably.
Who directed it?
Jeremy Sinclair.
Saul.
I don't have
Saulnier. Jeremy Saulnier.
Saulnier.
Yeah. He looks like a young guy. He did an episode of True Detective Night Country.
He did Green Room.
Blue Ruin.
Blue Ruin.
Or he did do some True Detective.
I'll tell you what, this dude's next project is on my radar. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Because he freaking crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice work. But yeah, it's blowing up right now, and I read every single tweet. So I'm just like, yeah.
So you're just feeding that algorithm.
Yeah.
Saying, I want more, baby.
I'm in that Rebel Ridge algorithm, baby. I want everybody to watch this movie. And it's on Netflix, so you can you watch it at home. And it's a shame that it's not in theaters.
I do think that
released here, but
I'm curious how it would have done in theaters.
I feel like it would have done decently. I think it definitely would have made $25 million.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think it would have done gangbusters, but I could see it doing maybe.
And actually,
a ceiling of like 100.
Last weekend would have been a great time to still like. What were the new
Nothing
movies?
came out last week.
Beetlejuice.
No, that was this week.
Oh, this was too. Okay, sorry.
But this wasn't like it's not like competing with Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Now Beetlejuice did take a large bit of the box office this week, but no, yeah, I think it probably had an opportunity for a limited run. That said, yeah, this is gonna get this team some incredible opportunities in the future.
Yeah.
It better. That's
Yeah, and I'm hoping it can like get some Oscar buzz too. That'd be fantastic. Personally, I think that his performance is my favorite male performance of the year.
They will need to have they relaxed. If they want to do that, then it'll need to go.
It released in theaters.
They did have limited release.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Netflix does it for
like everything.
For all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And if it didn't, then freaking shame on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like him and Anya Taylor-Joy are like my two front runners for awards right now.
Nice.
I'm curious if he would even be nominated though, because it is a Netflix movie. You just never know.
Yeah.
And it's September.
I have a feeling he'll get. There's a chance that he gets like his name can just kind of stay in the minds for like another 2 months.
When did like Power of the Dog release?
There's a lot of stuff that comes out October, November, December.
Yeah.
That is going to take a lot of attention away. So
yeah,
it'll be if it can kind of weather through there. I don't know what all is coming out indie wise this year. That will get people to, especially actors, right? Like
Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Joker too, actually.
What uncut gems, like kind of thing.
What random A24 movie is gonna drop? Oh, what's the one with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield?
Oh, We Exist in Time or something like that.
Oh man,
probably that one.
Dana wants me to go see that, and I'm gonna bawl my eyes out.
You're gonna have to get your own napkins for your tears for that one.
She's like, "This movie looks so good, but
I
I think I'm gonna cry," and I'm like,
"You're like,
I watched the trailer. I'm like,
in like 3 weeks, and it makes me sad.
You what?
I haven't been to the movies
dude, I
in like
haven't
3
either.
weeks. It's like I need to get back.
I went this weekend.
I need that popcorn. Oh.
You know what? The last couple times I've been in the theater, my popcorn has been very disappointing.
Oh, that's sad.
Yep. I'm going to have to send a strongly worded, gentle letter. Like, why does this popcorn suck? Best regards.
Double butter
Luke.
next time, please.
Dude, they could go quadruple butter for all I care. It'll pool at the bottom.
Yeah. We got the plastic.
It's called gravity.
Yeah.
And you just wash it when I get home.
So I'm going to guess, Luke, I'm going to take a stab at this. Booyah?
Yeah.
Booyah for me as well.
This movie shot up on my list to number 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best of the year. I strongly encourage people to watch it. I think it's amazing.
There's always one a year that just comes out of nowhere, and it's like, holy crap, that's like one of my favorites. Like it somehow lands in the top 5.
The other comparisons, like I compared it to Blade Runner 2049 mainly because it's not an action movie. Like Blade Runner is a detective story.
Yeah.
But the obvious comparisons are Rambo and Reacher. Rambo is like super. That's a big action movie.
Yeah.
Especially with what it turned into. It's like Reacher, but
less action.
Less action, but also more. You'll understand once you watch it.
Yeah.
He makes some very important decisions that are so awesome that I love so much. Where he's just like, you know what, obviously this is a tough situation, but I'm going to be the good guy here.
And I love how there's a decision.
You know what else I could compare it to? Batman.
Yeah.
It's a Batman movie.
There's a comparison, There's a decision he makes in the third act, which I love because it's the wrong. He makes an assumption.
Yeah.
And it ends up being the wrong thing to do, and it's like, okay, he's not like infallible, right? Like, this is how we're going to ratchet up the conflict into the third act, which was already pretty tense. Like, going to it, it's like, oh man, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I do think maybe my one nitpick con. There's the third act action scene ends, and then it's just kind of like the danger is over very quickly. And for whatever reason, I wasn't quite prepared for it to just end that fast. Emotionally, it still all works. Love it. But there we go. I came up with I found my con. It was just like, oh, okay. All right, I guess abrupt. Yeah. But it is pretty abrupt,
still,
right? Like,
yeah, it still works.
They're in the middle of a thing, something happens, and then it's like, okay, did we? It's kind of the head off of the snake kind of thing, and all of the minions. You know, you have to. Yeah, no spoilers, but it did. I felt like it ended a little abruptly.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, plan a movie night this week, people.
Yes.
Pop some corn and hunker down on the couch. I didn't look at my phone once during this movie.
No, it was, you don't need,
which is honestly really hard to do when you're at home. Super easy in the theater, and I don't know why people struggle with that. But, like, I had my phone just on the couch armrest. Never even picked it up. I picked it up when the movie over to text you guys, and I like just a bunch of emails and app notifications. I was like, oh wow. The world was still turning when I was watching this.
Still spinning.
But yeah, man, it was so good. I'm gonna have to watch these other movies, man. I've heard Green Room is really good.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of his other stuff. I mean, other than Night Country. But all right, news.
So 2 movies with colors and the second word beginning with an R in the titles: Blue Room and Green Room.
Netflix finally released a good movie with Rebel in the title.
Yeah, I told Dana, I was like, I need to watch Rebel Ridge, and Dana goes, is that a Rebel Moon movie? And I was like, no.
It's a spin-off.
Oh. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Super good.
All right. Sad news first. We got to get it out of the way. James Earl Jones passed away today, age 93. R.I.P.
Yep.
Mufasa.
You're always like,
Darth.
oh, it's probably going to happen soon.
Yeah.
And then it happens, and you're like,
oh, man.
Gosh dang it, dude.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I feel like the last... Ooh, excuse me. I feel like the last time something... But his voice does live on. Hopefully not in the form of AI, though. Please.
I think he signed a thing.
I know he did, but I'm having... I just want to be hopeful.
As long as it's only Darth Vader.
Like, I'm hitting my cord. I'm
we
so
gotta
sorry.
End it right there. Last one. The last AI voice will be Darth Vader. Because he signed it. It's done. We have to deal with it.
Well, if Andy Serkis puts him in a movie, don't be shocked.
Well, we're going to go punch Andy Serkis. He made Venom 2, and now he's pro AI. So, bah, bah.
No, I just think that it's like we're kind of on the front end of like what will be a very rough 10 years for us and our childhood
Yeah.
movie stars.
Yep.
So
And directors and
yeah. No, it's gonna be bad,
composers.
guys. It's gonna be bad.
I'm like low-key like expecting to see the tweet almost every day about John Williams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not looking forward to that one, but
So yeah, rest in peace, James Earl Jones.
dude, I've been seeing clips
Legend
from like Sandlot and Field of
of
Dreams.
Dreams,
Just
dude.
like,
Yeah.
don't cry.
Yeah, the Field of Dreams clip every time, dude.
I'll have to rewatch that. One of the best movie lines in history. The 7.
Is there? Do you guys have a
No, it's
favorite
Iowa.
James Earl Jones performance?
I mean, I don't know. My childhood bias would say The Sandlot.
Yeah.
I think my childhood bias would say Lion King.
I'm probably there with you, Luke, on Lion King in terms of childhood biased, for sure.
I loved The Sandlot growing up.
It took me a while to understand The Sandlot for some reason, and I never really got it until I was
One of the best sports movies.
a little older.
Best movies.
But
It's a good movie.
It's really good.
I think that's a movie that gets better every time you see it.
I haven't watched it in a long time. I need to sit down and watch it.
Heck yeah. But
The Colossus of Clout?
The
Colossus of Clout?
I think a lot of people would probably say Star Wars, and they're not wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong.
No.
that was such a yeah,
Thulsa Doom from Conan the Barbarian.
No. This might be a hot take. I do not like Conan the Barbarian. I think that movie's terrible.
I don't think that's a hot take.
I saw it on TV. I was just like,
You saw a TV edit and was
thank
like...
goodness I saw the TV edit. Are you kidding me? Oh, I watched it and I was just like, we don't need this. This is terrible.
Oh goodness. Well, you mentioned
We're
Andy
gonna keep doing more bad news.
Serkis. We just keep up the bad news. So apparently, Orlando Bloom was being interviewed about something. Is he in a new movie?
Returning as Legolas.
That's what they found him. They just were like on the side of the street, be like I know he's out promoting something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But apparently he had a conversation with Andy Serkis and about returning for the hunt.
They were talking about how Ian McKellen was coming back.
Coming back, right? And the hunt. It was the
Hunt for Gollum.
Hunt for Gollum. Like the possibility of having Legolas come back, and Orlando Bloom was like, "How would that work?" And apparently the response was, "Oh, we'll use AI."
Which may have just been in jest, but
yeah, you don't
really know, but
Yeah, I guess he could have been making a funny. But I don't care. I'm still gonna hate on this movie till this thing comes out. We should not be making this movie. I'm
hate on it enough, and they'll make it a trilogy.
Ooh. Release it now.
They turned The Hobbit into a trilogy. They can turn this one paragraph into a trilogy.
Man, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Crazy.
Remember when we went on strike for 6 months? And like we were like, hey, AI is a problem, and we want to get paid, not a computer just do our jobs for us.
now they've gotten paid and they're going to use computers.
Oh my gosh.
The machine god lives, Baroque.
Is this another
It's a Warhammer thing.
Okay.
Since there's Warhammer stuff going around in the chat, I
yeah,
figured I'd lean
it
in.
is flying in the chat there, isn't there? AI is the future, except
Your fate's now.
except should I accept or accept my fate?
Use the wrong one there.
What idiot.
Good try, JT. You guys broke the news to me earlier that Spider-Man 4 has a new director.
Oh yeah.
Let's start on the positive side for this one.
Okay.
First.
Positive.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Great director.
Good
Absolutely.
director, yep.
We love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is great as Peter Parker.
Yes.
Now the bad stuff.
So it's Destin Daniel Cretton who did Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, and this means that he's not going to get to do Shang-Chi 2 until after Spider-Man.
No, man. Shang-Chi 2 is dead. Let's be frank.
Why? That movie did not do bad.
But it didn't do $1 billion like Spider-Man.
It's disappointing.
And the Spider-Man's a multiverse movie, which they're all about right now, still.
And they can't put... Or maybe they could. They can't... Well, they probably don't want to because they'd have to give him another $100 million. They can't put Robert Downey Jr. in it.
Never
He's going to be in it.
They're going to recast Shang-Chi as Robert Downey Jr. Or they're going to bring back Winwu, and it's going to be RDJ. It's like, what are we doing?
That makes sense.
$100 million.
That's logical.
Sign me up. Get out of here.
Yeah. So, you got to take the good with the bad. And
I'd much prefer Shang-Chi too.
I would too.
Yep.
I would too. I do, like you said, I do think it's a great choice as a director.
Yeah.
If we're not getting Shang-Chi 2, I'm glad this is happening.
Let's go through the movies Spider-Man has been in over the last couple of years. Starting with Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 3. The Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Civil War. Spider-Man Homecoming. Homecoming 2. Homecoming 3. Avengers. 2 animated films and probably like 5 animated shows. I'm kind of Spider-Man'd out, I'm gonna be honest.
But we've only gotten...
And some of those movies had multiple
Shang-Chi.
We've had one Shang-Chi. He's not even gonna be in the next Avengers movie, probably.
Oh, how
Why?
disappointing.
We want Shang-Chi too, dang it. It was one of the only interesting movies they made in Phase 4 and 5.
True that. JT says, I really, really wish Marvel went hard in the street hero route, but here we are, just disappointed.
Dude, street heroes need justice.
I feel like at some point they thought to themselves, street heroes are for Disney Plus. That's where we're getting Daredevil. That's where we've gotten. I don't know. Do you call She-Hulk a street level hero? But they're not gonna get their own movie. And why would you put why would you put Spider-Man in something that's just made for Disney Plus?
Maybe they should read a Spider-Man comic.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Maybe they should not be stupid.
I just want Spider-Man in New York for a movie.
Yeah.
No.
That'd be cool.
No. Can't do that. RDJ isn't in New York. He's in Latveria now. Spider-Man's going to Latveria. He's going to kiss Doom. Probably. I don't know.
He's got to be involved somehow in, what's that Vision TV show, since Ultron's back. And
Vision Quest?
Ultron hates Tony Stark. Spider-Man must pay for the sins of
Daddy issues.
That's true, yeah.
Tony
he has
Stark.
to deal with Tony Stark's problems.
Yeah. That's what...
That'd be cool, too, if we could do a Spider-Man movie where he's dealing with a problem of his own. And not the problem of every other universe's Spider-Man or Tony Stark. That'd be cool.
No.
Makes so much sense.
I don't know. No one's given me the power to greenlight thing, so we'll just keep talking about it.
Grant you the power.
Oh my gosh.
Those jerseys are disgusting.
Yeah, they're gross.
Whose jerseys?
The Giants Centennial jerseys are the worst jerseys I've ever seen an NFL team wear.
You know, Daniel Jones has thrown more touchdowns to the opposing team than his own teammates since signing his extension.
Nice.
Good for him. He made money.
He's thrown 4 pick sixes and 2 touchdowns.
Gotta get that green.
I'd do it too. Be like, yeah, give me $40 million. What are you gonna do? Take it away? Interception. You can retire.
Do you guys have other news stories?
Yeah. This is more Bad news.
Oh, more bad news.
Remember that game Concord?
I was getting ready to ask you. Yeah. That was Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Which we had, I think, talked about last week that they had...
I think it was Saturday.
Okay.
I think it was maybe announced Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Concord is dead.
Yeah, it's already shut down.
Like, not even joke dead. It's not Destiny dead. It's like, it's dead.
It's like we're issuing refunds and...
They cut it off on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut the servers down.
Dude, I saw like a video of somebody playing during it. It was just like, this is it. It's done. They just kicked you out of the game.
Oh.
People are selling the physical copies on eBay for like $300 for a game that you can't play.
Yeah.
Because there is no other mode.
Feel really bad for Firewalk. But man, everybody said the same thing after playing the beta.
I feel really bad for Firewalk. I'm very disappointed in Sony.
Yeah.
This was a game that Sony brought on. They said they were going to support it. We had the beta, and Sony did not give them... Or maybe it was... maybe they gave them the opportunity, and this could be on Firewalk, right? Like they said, no, we're not going... I mean, ultimately, it is on Sony. They're the publisher. The time to refine this to make it something, that would be more market ready.
But how do you give more time on an 8-year cycle?
Well, I do think the 8-year cycle thing is a bit of a misnomer.
Or 6 years, whatever.
I think it's been in development for like 4.
That's still long.
It's not.
I think though
not these days.
For a hero shooter?
Not these days.
I don't think the delay...
Cliff Bleszinski's released 2 and shut 2 down in that time.
I don't think the delay would have needed to be that major. I think, at most 2 months. You just have to figure out a different way to monetize your game. Because I think that's one of the biggest things. They looked across the field, and they saw everybody else's pricing plan, and they said, yeah, $40. That's what we're going to do. And I think people are just like, in a game that's probably low on interest already, it's like, well, now you can't even try it.
It didn't even, I don't think it even had sufficient, I think where they should have probably looked at, taken the time. Yes, I think you're right. The $40 is a high barrier to entry for that kind of a game. But it didn't seem like the game as service side of things was that well built out either.
I don't think they didn't have battle passes.
They didn't have a pass, which honestly kind of seems refreshing to me.
Yeah.
But if you're building it as a games as service,
you got to have something.
I think you have to have some hook. Yep. Unless you're Call of Duty, because you're just that big, right? Like, this is a new IP with unknown characters, and it does not have... I mean, I think it was fairly obvious that it didn't have whatever Helldivers had going for it, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Sony was kind of deadlocked on that $40 because they're like, Helldivers did great. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, Helldivers really their second...
super unique.
Yeah, and it's PvE.
Yeah.
And then this is... Oh. Even when it was announced, we were like, oh, it's a hero shooter?
Dude,
okay.
The first announcement for it was like, this sounds like a cool space heist, Guardians-esque thing. Then they showed the trailer, and it was like, okay, yeah, they're doubling down, this looks cool. And then they showed the gameplay, and everybody was like, oh.
Oh, okay, brother.
Okay, well, yeah, we're out on that.
No, thank you. And then I think just a major miss on all of it was, why are we putting so much money into these, great looking cutscenes? And we're gonna have one every week to tell a story. No offense, people want to play the story.
Yeah.
Just make the game a story game if you want to tell a story.
I was listening to the Kind of Funny guys, and half of them are like, "Yeah, I'm playing it, but I've not watched any of the cutscenes. I just skip them."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to watch that.
It's like, oh, so that's the context behind... Okay, don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to make a heist story?
I'm here to win. I want to get my elo up, or whatever the words are. And now they have a full dedicated episode of secret levels for Concord. Are they going to have a in memory of thing at the end of that episode.
Well, apparently they said they're going to try to come back to market at some point.
So based on...
They're going to release it the day after that episode drops?
I'm very curious what your guys' thoughts are on the future of
I think it's done.
You think it's done?
And I think Firewalk's closed.
Luke?
I think that game is done, and since they're Sony-owned, Firewalk, they're going to wrangle them into doing some IP they already have.
Is your computer taking off?
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm watching. Using Google Chrome, baby. Lift off! Yeah!
I think here's my hypothesis, best case scenario. This is what I hope. I don't know how realistic it is. My hope is that because what they've done is refund everyone, they've shut everything down. I don't think they're probably pursuing additional development on it. But especially depending on release schedule of Secret Level, I wonder if it comes back as a free-to-play thing when that happens.
And just like no support.
And just hope that it gets a little bit more traction.
Just put ads
if
after every
anything,
match.
if anything, they may be taking the if they are doing any additional development, it may be working on some sort of in-game monetization plan.
I think that's what they have to figure out.
Okay, we're gonna start selling skins or
Battle Pass.
Here's
Hopefully
a pass.
good-looking
Here's
ones.
a thing, and then and then do a free to play method.
You know what they should have done as soon as they felt like they were gonna close this thing down is throw it on PS Plus.
But then they have to pay to keep the service.
That's the only thing. But you would have had a lot of people try.
It's not that many servers, though.
You would have had, that's true too.
Well, now it's 0.
Yeah, you would have had a lot of people try it out. But like, the other thing, and a great example of doing that, the Quidditch game was on PS Plus Essential.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it later. A game I was not going to buy, but was interested in checking out, and I got to play it because it's on PS Plus. And Concord would have been the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I would have probably checked out Concord if I got it for free.
Right.
Or if it was free to play as a whole, I would have checked it out.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, man. It just feels like every opportunity they had to either A, listen to the market, B, watch the market around them and like what that space was doing. And Overwatch has had plenty of hurdles in that same exact way.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not learn from what's in front of you? As a studio, as a publisher, like, how do you not see the writing on the wall after Summer Games Fest when everybody goes, oh yeah, I'm not going to play that? The whole internet like melted down. It was like, we're not playing this.
Yeah.
And then they were like, it'll be fine. We'll put it out. We're Sony. We're untouchable. We'll put it out. And then here we are.
I think at some point there's like a realistic, you have to face the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you just cancel it and do the Batgirl, we're going to write it off for tax purposes?
Dude.
Or do we put it out there and you never put something out there and you're like, yeah, I know this is shit and it's gonna be bad and like.
Well, seem like
you just don't do that,
No.
right? Like that's a horrible. Not as like a critic, right? Like as a critic, that's your job.
Are we talking about games? Just games?
No, any piece of art.
I watched Sony release like 5 terrible Spider-Man movies.
But right, but you don't see the people. Here's a great example. Those Game of Thrones final season red carpet premiere clips where they're asking like, "Ooh, how does season 8 end?" and the entire cast is going, "Ooh."
Right.
That have confidence in your work. I guess like go out swinging. Don't stand there and get struck out.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what Firewalk or Sony does in this situation other than, hey, we're proud of the game we made. We're sorry that we're bummed too that it didn't resonate. But unless you're willing to pour another $100 million, maybe not another $50 million into another 2 years of development, that game wasn't changing. You weren't going to develop an 8-hour campaign in the next 6 months.
No.
And so you either release it and you pray to God that it hits,
or
you face the music.
Yeah. They definitely face the music.
So, yeah.
But see, I've heard
JT so he said, do you really feel bad for them? Yeah, I do. Because that's what you do when you make art or something, right? Like, I say art. It's a game.
It's art?
It's art in some degree. It's also
Interactive
also
art.
business, right? And so like there were bad business decisions made. I'm not gonna not defend that, but I do feel bad. I do think it is JT's comment. The split Bungie devs getting merged back into Bungie would be very ironic.
I mean, they announced something today, so
They did. What if they brought this team? Oh, that probably wouldn't go over well publicly.
Firewalk becomes a PvP team at Bungie.
Or just like they get brought on as a support studio for Marathon.
Oh no.
Well, apparently Marathon needs it. That's what I keep hearing. But
Yeah.
I think Marathon may run into the same kind of problem though.
Yeah.
I think Bungie's at least figured out their monetization. I mean, not in a super successful way, as we've learned over the last year. But they at least have those gross monetization things in place, right? Like they'll have the Eververse store.
Well, they announced their new stuff today about like their future.
Their Frontier stuff, right?
All their seasons are free. You'll have the 2 like mid-size expansions, but the seasons, like the 4
their seasons should have been free from the beginning.
Yeah, they should have been.
That's how it always should have been.
But like to actually see that they were doing that was like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
That is a different step in a different direction, and it's very nice to see.
Yeah. Well, it keeps players engaged with more of that rotating content that's coming in, that hopefully gets them, if they haven't bought the expansion, to buy the expansion.
Yeah. And it's even just like they were like, free to play players, they don't know what to do when they get in our game.
Yeah.
There's 70 things to click on, and they just go.
That's what like the portal
what?
is, right?
Huh?
Then they announced the portal.
Yeah, it's like a redo of the UI.
Yeah. We're gonna make it like Halo 3 menus. Not quite, but it's more menu based rather than like here's a giant map with.
I mean, I'm gonna open up the menu and get lost in the music for 20 minutes. I kind of knew that would
love it when that happens.
I guess kind of just going off that, they announced they're doing a Bungie Destiny is doing a multi-year saga again, so I'm happy. 2 expansions in 2025, Apollo and Behemoth. AB, by the way.
Oh. Seize Concord.
Oh! Dude, that would be
merging
so
it
fun.
into the Destiny universe.
Is F gonna be Firewalk? Is D Destiny? But yeah. I won't go off and explain everything, but I'll just say that I was excited with the stuff that I saw.
Nice.
So I was nervous that Destiny was gonna kind of do a slow trickle until
they stopped.
Mm-hmm. But they're gonna keep going. They need to because they need to fund Marathon.
Yeah. Do you think, Luke, as our resident Destiny expert now, I've relinquished that title to you. I did that probably like
you did not relinquish that to me. I took it.
Like a year ago. I was just like, I'm just not holding on to this anymore, and you picked it up off the table. Probably like 2 years ago, actually, after Witch Queen. I enjoyed Witch Queen and like that season after, and then I was kind of.
Did you ever beat the legendary campaign on Witch Queen?
No.
I took it right there. Right then is when I took it back.
Well, I don't think I did. Did I?
Took it right out of your hands.
No, I think we did it together. I feel like we co-opted that.
Right out of your hands. Nope. I never played it.
I may have.
I did the first like 4 with you, I think.
Oh, okay. Anyways, in any case,
right out of your cold dead hands.
With all of the, I don't know, surprise. There seems to be a lot of online, and maybe this is just in my corner of the internet, like disappointment that Destiny 3 isn't happening. Do you think that ever changes?
No.
Once Marathon is actually properly released? I can understand right now why it's not. But if Marathon releases in 2025, you think 2026 we're like, okay, we're working on Destiny 3?
I don't know. As far as community goes, whenever we just don't know what's going to happen next, Destiny 3 is the thing people yell out.
Sure.
But now that we know, I think it'll diminish a bit. It will obviously always still be there.
Mm-hmm.
I would love Destiny 3. I would just love to start over.
Yeah.
It'll a vault of zero. But once Marathon ends, if it's bad, absolutely not. If it's great and it can kind of fund Bungie for a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it has to be good though.
Yeah. Maybe is Gummy Bear still being developed by Bungie?
No.
Or is that the one that got spun off into its own studio?
Yes.
Okay. Over at Sony.
Or allegedly.
Yeah.
We don't actually know if it was that one, but I think that's what everybody kind of assumed.
JT says my Destiny run was Taken King all the way into Forsaken.
Good run.
Best 3 years of Destiny.
Good run.
No lie, that was you missed all of the before there was content.
Firewalk starting Destiny 3.
There we go.
It's just only a PvP game.
Ugh.
Ew. So, yeah, cool. Excited that there's a future for Destiny still.
Yep. I've got two more things.
Okay.
One I wrote down early in the week, but I don't really know a whole lot about it. Rocksteady's been laying people off, kind of in the fallout from Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League.
Yep.
Kind of surprised it took this long.
Yeah, but not surprised it happened.
Something would tell me they've been doing it pretty quietly.
Yeah.
Probably higher ups and then working their way down.
Yeah, I'd expect there to probably be more too.
Yeah.
Were they still working on content for that game?
They are still working on content.
So that's probably why they're wrapping up certain aspects of what they have.
Yep. Yeah, Season 2 shipped and then they had layoffs.
Yep. That makes sense then.
The last thing that I have is half the Emmys have happened. There's 2 Emmy shows. There's like the not as cool Emmys, and then there's the main Emmys. Mm-hmm. Pretty much the Bear and Shogun one.
Yeah.
Which I think everybody would have just predicted.
Yeah.
The Bear won, at least the ones I want to point out. Jamie Lee Curtis won, which I think I said would happen 2 years ago, and the episode released a week before the Emmys.
That's right, you did, yeah. You called that.
And then also John Bernthal won, so he's an Emmy winner now. Shout out to John Bernthal.
Heck yeah.
I think for the same episode too.
It was a Christmas episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Forks, which is arguably one of the best episodes of TV ever. The Bear's got so many episodes like that though. Also won, I think, for cinematography. Oh, it's such a beautiful show, man. Oh my goodness. I need you guys to watch The Bear. And then Shogun just won everything, I'm pretty sure. And it's going to win everything.
Yeah, it won the most Emmys by a show ever.
Yeah, the Emmys aren't done yet.
Right.
He's got like 14 wins already. It's crazy. Insane. Fallout won an Emmy. I don't remember which one. Oh, music supervision. That's a good one for it to win.
That's awesome. It makes sense.
Very
quickly, Warner Brothers said that a Hogwarts Legacy sequel is one of their biggest priorities right now, which should surprise no one.
Good. It only made like $500 million, $1 billion.
They just, printed out a bunch of money.
Sold 22 million copies.
Yeah, it was wildly successful.
Dude, if that game can Arkham Asylum to Arkham City.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. This gonna be amazing. This would be so awesome. Just, write a better story.
Peacemaker Season 2 arrives next year, the second half of 2025. So that was kind of a weird announcement that came out of James Gunn on Threads.
Add it to the list of shows that are taking too long to make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got caught up in the whole taking over DC thing and forgot to make it feels like.
I have a Superman
What a
movie.
catch.
Creature Commandos is December
Did you see that?
5?
Yeah.
No. Early December.
Early December.
It officially got a date with a new little teaser trailer. And then there's one more thing. I can't find it now. Oh, there's an animated retelling of Twilight from Edward's perspective that has since been greenlit.
That's right.
What?
Midnight Sun, I think is what it's called.
Yes.
Oh, that's a Marvel property.
I believe so.
I told Stephanie about it, and she was like, "Oh."
I saw there was a Phantom of the Opera YA.
Yeah, that's a
coming
thing
out
too.
Oh my gosh!
What a weird concept to make something YA.
Just do the original. It's a great musical. It's already a really good movie.
Yeah.
If you want to do it again, just do it again.
Well, speaking of remakes,
don't do it YA. It's
the casting,
so corny.
the casting call went out for the new Harry Potter series.
Glad they're doing it the exact same way.
So
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, be interesting to see how that all.
Have you guys seen this internet trend where people are saying there's no trailers for the Speak No Evil movie?
Yes, it's so funny.
It's pretty great.
Is it because you can't talk about it?
Yeah, I guess. But
no, it's because it's been the one trailer.
Oh,
is just over. So we've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But so the joke is.
Oh, we haven't.
I can't believe they haven't released a trailer.
Yeah, it's like, I can't believe this movie comes out next week and they've not promoted it at all. And then one dude, people missed the joke.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, I've seen this show 50 times in front of movies. And everybody in the comments is immediately like, liar! This guy's lying! There is no trailer.
My favorite thing is the people who have seen, the early screenings are like, man, I went to the early screening of See No Evil and saw the trailer in front of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, because it's been everywhere.
Kind of back to Harry Potter.
JT doesn't even know what this trailer... Yeah, exactly, JT. What trailer?
Exactly.
I want to go back to Harry Potter. I have a question.
Okay.
What is, your hype level on a Harry Potter
series?
Harry
Potter series?
The show, the way they're doing?
Just the, HBO show.
7 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay,
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, let's do it.
I would say
15 years or
I would say that's about where I'm at too. I'm pretty excited about it, honestly.
If it were
I'm looking forward to it.
If they had announced this as a new series of movies, I would be less excited.
Yeah.
But because it's a show, I think there's room to explore more interesting things.
I'm with you. I'm probably at an 8. Because I love the idea of a Harry Potter show.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it in 2025, 2026 when everything is a 2-year turnaround time. Those kids are going to age so fast.
It's going to have the Stranger Things problem.
You're going to absolutely have the Stranger Things problem.
Well, even the movies had that problem. All of a sudden, Daniel Craig had a beard.
No, for sure.
He's supposed to be 16. They're just going to have to be on it.
Well, that's the other thing too with this. Once you start it, you can't stop. Be done.
They're gonna have to go to old school format of making TV, where it's like we're shooting in October.
Yeah.
We're filming through December, and then post production up until probably day of release.
Do you think they
in October?
I wonder if they greenlight
or probably release in December.
2 seasons.
Do you think they greenlight at least the first 2 seasons? I feel like at least
shoot it all back to back,
just
whatever.
Get at least shoot it and then be like, okay, we're gonna have a 6-month break between season 1 and season 2 shoot, just so if there are things we need to, but we're not waiting on reception. I mean, I guess if reception's still that bad, you can always cancel it.
I think.
Well, they don't have to worry about reception for the first season.
I don't think so either,
because people are going to watch the crap out of it.
Right.
Yeah. You probably only need to worry about reception probably after season 2.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what it will look like visually.
Mm-hmm. Do they use the same castle?
That's what I wonder. Are they just going to use the same sets?
I kind of hope they just go a little weird with it. Maybe not weird.
Go a little more gothic.
Go a little more gothic. Have the castle not be quite so neat. I don't know, Victorian London.
Go a little Tim Burton.
Maybe just a little. Just
a little.
Just
get him on as a producer. Let's go.
No.
It's producer, not a director. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I saw a Tim Burton movie this weekend and I really enjoyed it. So.
Oh, well, maybe we should move into what we did this week. We've talked about lots. Any other news stories? I guess real quick.
No.
Okay. You watched a Tim Burton movie?
I did watch a Tim Burton movie.
Which Tim Burton movie?
Batman 1989. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
good movie.
Great movie. No, actually, I watched 2 Tim Burton movies this week because I did
Did you watch the original Beetlejuice?
I watched the original Beetlejuice because I was like, do I want to go see Beetlejuice this weekend? I've said Beetlejuice like 8 times now and he hasn't shown up, so it's clearly fake news.
Disappointing.
But no, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was like, let's watch the original. Let's see if I actually like this as much as I remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That movie's a lot of fun. It's really funny. It's got some really weird gore that kind of freaks you out just enough, mainly because Tim Burton's a weirdo. Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis are great in it. It's a lot of fun. So I finished that and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go see the new one this weekend. And you know what? It was the exact same reaction.
Nice.
It's really funny. The cast is great. Obviously, Michael Keaton is freaking awesome as Beetlejuice.
Good.
Jonah Ortega is really good.
That
I think it might have been the first movie I've seen with her in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
And then I loved Willem Dafoe too. He's in it for 5 minutes and he's incredible. Nice. But it's really fun. It's funny. It has really gross gore for like a split second. You're just like, oh, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
The story, I think it flows really well from the first one. Like, I think the story makes sense.
Yeah.
Where they went with it. Now that being said, I think this subplots, there's just a lot of them. I think you could have taken out some of the characters. Well, the characters can still be there, but they don't need to have like their entire own arc or subplot going on. Like, and I feel like one of those could be Willem Dafoe's subplot.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I loved his character.
Yeah, so. Let's have him in there.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I think it's the first Tim Burton movie I've seen and liked in forever. I think they do some really cool creative stuff. I don't remember the dude's name. Dude who plays Winona Ryder's dad, Mr. Dietz. He's not in the movie, so let me look up his name from the original. I think he's a bad person though.
Oh.
So everybody was worried about what they were going to do with his character.
Mm-hmm.
They killed him off.
I think that's the wrong one.
Gosh dang it. There's a TVY Beetlejuice show?
Yeah, you passed the other one, though.
How's that possible? There's no way a Beetlejuice show can be TVY.
I like over in the chat, Baroque and JT are giving alternate names.
Again.
Gosh dang it.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Oh, got it.
Beetlejuicy.
No, the title's perfect. And the third one will be called Beetlejuice. And nobody's going to say the title for when the movie comes out. There's going to be like, oh, we can't say the title.
We can't say it.
What is this dude's freaking name? Jeffrey Jones. He might be a bad dude. I don't really know.
Okay.
But I just remember when the movie's coming out, everybody was like, oh, what are we going to do with this character? Well, they kill him off, and the way he dies is he gets eaten by a shark. So the top off his body is gone. But he's walking around in the afterlife and doing weird stuff. And like when they show him dying, it's claymation. Personally, didn't like that. But I liked the creative choice of just not keeping him in the movie.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super interesting.
Yeah.
Like, there's just stuff like that throughout. There's a sequence, it's a flashback, it's black and white, and it's all Italian. And it's amazing. Like, there's just so many great creative moments in the movie that were so fun. And I feel like I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
Nice.
Even after just watching the original.
Yeah.
If you're a Beetlejuice fan, you're going to like this one too.
Sweet.
It's fun.
Nice.
So.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, in honor of spooky season starting,
Yeah, that's true. Spooky season starting, and it's got creepy stuff in it.
It
Another
works.
reason to go see it.
It's just great. I watched a 2019 film called The Dead Don't Die. This is Bill Murray and Adam Driver are
Zombie movie.
Police officers. It's a zombie movie. Have either of you seen this movie?
No, it's a zombie movie. You think I...
Oh, that's fair.
Come on now.
So it's extremely like dark deadpan humor. I I really enjoyed 80% of this movie. It does the thing, what we talked about with Love Lies Bleeding at the very end, where it just goes there.
Do they all turn into giants?
Spoiler alert for this movie. Just because all of a sudden an alien ship shows up and like they just lean hard into like actually Adam Driver knows what's going to happen because he's read the script because the director's given him the script, and so it like becomes super meta and super weird all in the last 10 minutes.
Oh boy.
But I love it up until that point, and so I might recommend it and then just be like, when they get to the cemetery, just turn it off. Up till then, it's great. And actually, the final little like fight scene where they like go out fighting a bunch of zombies is pretty fun.
If they would have done that earlier and kind of been more self-referential throughout the whole thing, kind of like Spaceballs.
Yeah.
You think it would have been better?
Maybe.
It's just kind of jarring where it's like, oh, this is...
So, like, Adam Driver throughout the
Deadpool
film,
now.
like, makes little comments here and there about, like, things.
Does he, like, read the script throughout?
No, like, no.
That would be funny. He's like,
They're
what
like,
are you reading? Nothing.
They're, like, driving in the car, and, like, The Dead Don't Die is a song by Sturgis Simpson. And it's playing, and, like, Bill Murray makes a comment about it, and then Adam Driver's like, well, it's the theme song. And, like, they don't talk about it, but, like, it's because it's the theme song of the movie. So there's a couple moments where, like, it's the meta-ness is kind of sprinkled in. It just goes all in at the end.
Is it a self-commentary movie on the meta-ness of movies?
No. Oh. No. I don't think so. It doesn't really feel like it.
See, the only way I can really justify a zombie movie is if it's, like, trying to say something. That's why The Last of Us works. That's why,
I think if anything, it's maybe trying to say something about
the original one
consumerism. There's a character who's just like a hermit who lives in the woods, who's kind of like the one who's like, you know, stays away from all of, like, he's not a zombie because, well, he's not dead, like,
because the dead don't die.
The dead don't die. But it's a like got a ton of like fairly big names, like I said, Adam Driver and Bill Murray. Why can't I think of her name? She played the ancient one in
Tilda Swinton.
Austin Butler, Selena Gomez are both in it. So it's what?
Sorry, I just looked up what that guy did.
Yeah, JT put it in the chat.
Oh my gosh!
So he wasn't coming back.
He was a terrible
this
person.
Is the Beetlejuice actor not coming back.
Sorry.
So I don't know. It's probably a Matthew McConaughey. Like, again, I enjoyed a lot of it. It just really doesn't know how to end itself, the movie, right?
Like, let's just be super weird.
So it just dove into the super weird, and I didn't quite dig it, but yeah.
I'm sure there's people out there who just absolutely love that, though.
Probably. And that's fine. The other thing I've mostly done but haven't quite finished is I'm in the about 3/4 of the way through Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 1. I actually like a lot of it. I think it should have been a limited series.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'll be up for watching part 2. I still need to finish part 1, but I will be there to watch part 2.
Just wait till you get to the last 5 minutes of part 1.
It's a pretty well made film. Like,
it's gorgeous.
Like, it looks great. The acting's good.
Yep.
The storylines are interesting. It's just pacing and flow, and there's a lot going on.
It's really jarring.
It's not connected well. So.
Are you watching it in chapters? Isn't it in chapters?
No.
Well, chapter 1 is like the whole first film.
Oh, but I thought it was like broken into parts within the movie.
Not technically.
Might have helped.
Yeah. So, Tyler, what'd you do this week?
What a catch.
I'll just quickly hit on 2 things. Number 1, I played the Quidditch Champions game. It's pretty fun. It's more fun than I expected it to be. The campaign mode's pretty cool. You just play through. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, like, you start out at the Weasley's house learning how to play Quidditch in their yard, and so you play with, like, the siblings and stuff.
It's like College Football 24.
Kind of. And then you go to Hogwarts, and you, like, pick which house you want to play for, and then you play through that, and then you play the Triwizard Tournament.
No sorting hat?
No. You just
Worst
pick.
game of the year.
It connects to your account or whatever through Hogwarts Legacy. So whatever house you're sorted in through the Pottermore or whatever site they have now, Portkey Games site, whatever house they sorted you into, you get like gear for them. So I got Hufflepuff gear.
Fellow Hufflepuffer.
I've never gotten Hufflepuff other than that one time. It was super weird. But yeah, like you do that, and then you can play through like different things, and then there is online play. I've not played much with it, but it's a lot like Rocket League, but Quidditch. That's how I would explain it.
Okay.
Bouncing off the walls and.
So you're like flying around. They did make a few rule changes to the game. If you catch the snitch, it's 30 points. It doesn't end the game because you play to 100, and you get about 2 to 3 opportunities a game. So pretty cool.
Probably a smart choice because it's probably the worst rule in sports history.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. But it's really cool within the game, like chasing the snitch and like you're racing and the beaters are trying to hit you with everything, and it's really cool. If you're a Harry Potter fan and you get a chance to check it out, I'd recommend it. It does control a little wonky, like it takes a little bit to get used to, and I still haven't quite figured out what control scheme I like, but I don't know. I won't be messing with it for a little bit because between college football and the next thing I did, which I did right before I came over here, so I haven't really played it a ton, but I've played some Space Marine 2. I played the tutorial mission because I wanted to make sure I got a chance to get in, kind of see how it felt to play, and then I went and played one match of PvP. I watched Aztecross's video of him playing the PvP, and I was like, I'm going to be really good at this because it's Gears of War without cover. I'm going to dominate people. And I played one match, and I absolutely pooed on everybody. As it went about as expected. I think I was like 14-3 with 6 assists, and you only played a 50. So I was absolutely dominating people. It was really fun. But the game itself, it is the most testosterone jacked up game you'll play this year, man. It's very much Warhammer. Everything you've heard about Warhammer, this is it. It's dark, it's bloody, it's intense. There's a lot of people saying brother.
Brother.
It's a lot of fun, and it really does scratch the Gears of War itch for me, which I'm very appreciative of, because it feels like we're just not getting a Gears game forever.
Okay, E-Day comes out in like 8 years.
Yeah, I think the earliest projection for that is like 26, which feels forever away right now. It won't be, but it feels like.
But then there's always the 6 month to year delay.
Correct.
That all games get now. So
Correct.
Probably 7.
So yeah, Space Marine 2 is a ton of fun. I am excited to play more of it. I think I'm gonna go home and play it tonight, but I haven't quite decided yet, just because I'm tired.
Yeah.
But it's a blast, man. Like using the chainsword and just wrecking stuff. Like the melee stuff feels good. The gunplay feels good. The Space Marine like armor is sick. The setup for the story is really cool. I really like kind of what they're going for. You were this kind of disgraced Space Marine who had to go serve in this like special sect. I'm using all the wrong terms intentionally, Baroque. And you get kind of reinstated in as a commander or as a lieutenant, but you're running a small team, and basically your bad docs have been
record expunged.
Well, they've been kind of hidden, and he's like, if people find out about this, there will be questions, and I'm like, I wonder where that's going. But it's just very much a like linear. Here's where you go, shoot stuff, kill stuff, keep going. You can find collectibles. The PvP is, it's PvP. It's third person. Everybody's running around trying to kill each other. There's objectives. It's just so simple that it's good. Like, it's not trying to be this huge thing. It's just a fun game to play in the like hour and 20 minutes I spent with it. Very excited to get back to it. Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about it so far. So hopefully I can play it tonight if I'm not too tired, or tomorrow morning if I wake up super early. Brother. Dude, some of the armor is so sick. Like the armor you start the game in, I want that for my PvP character. It's like all black with a red hood. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you have a skull.
I've
on
watched
your
the
chest.
first mission.
It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the scale of the hordes is really cool. You kind of talked about like seeing those. It feels awesome. And like you'll see them and you're like, can I shoot that?
Yep.
I'm gonna shoot it. And then you shoot it and like you get the hit marker. You're like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then they keep coming to you and you're like, oh, those are coming here. Okay. So then you're just like, I gotta unload. There's a part at the end of the tutorial mission where you just kind of you get locked into this pit basically, and it's like your health bar and everything disappears.
The big old bug.
And it's just like fight as long as you can. And I was like, this is kind of cool. I fought for a while, but yeah, the big bug ends up killing you. It's kind of like
but he doesn't.
Classic big bug.
But then he doesn't die. Yeah.
Dude, would that be crazy if
A game just
died there and it's like, and here's your new character.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that's what they were doing until he took his helmet off, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the guy from the first game.
Yeah, Titus.
Titus, brother.
Titus. He's got what looks like bullets in his
I would
head.
name my character Hulk Hogan.
Brother.
Brother.
But yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. I look forward to playing more of it.
Cool. Real quick, I think we had one comment over on Twitter. I think it was from JT, who was asking Luke and I about Rings of Power Episode 4. He felt like it was a little bit of a filler / disappointment episode. Luke, real quick, how'd you feel about Episode 4?
I think it was the weakest of the season. Filler, you know what? I kind of would agree with that. I think Galadriel and Elrond's thing felt kind of filler.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just kind of traveling and, running into trouble. But I loved the stuff with Tom.
Yeah.
And the stranger. I loved seeing Ints.
Yeah.
I think Arondir and Isildur's story this season's going to be really good.
Yep.
They're my favorite bit so far. And then, no dwarves, which is always disappointing, but... And I thought it was cool that we met different Harfoots. Or
Stewards. The Stewards, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think the...
But I don't disagree that it was kind of filler, because the main plot is the rings, and it's like Galadriel and Elrond's thing. Like, we didn't get Anatar or Celebrimbor this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I would buy that. But I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I think my concern with this season, I may have mentioned it last week, but if not, I'll say it now, or I'll just be repeating myself.
Say it again, brother.
Is the speed or the pacing in which they're doing the stuff in Eregion and Linden. Like, basically from where we ended season 1, we've already got, had people within the first episode who had left Eregion be back in Eregion. And, we had, in episode 4, we had, Elrond and Galadriel on their little quest so that they could have some drama, some conflict. You need conflict in a story, I get it. But then before we get to Eregion, we're splitting them up again so that Elrond can go back to Linden and talk to Gil-galad. And it just doesn't feel like there's good pacing to me in that storyline.
I think pacing is really going to be the major kind of flaw of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everything has been a step up in season 2.
Yeah.
Except for that.
Yeah.
That's just still the exact same.
And I think that
we're moving really slow at a lightning pace.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that the conflict that is there between Elrond and Galadriel makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they've really made it feel satisfying in any kind of way.
That being said, sorry, this is going to be a minor spoiler. He said he's heading to a place, and other characters are there, and maybe we can just converge a storyline.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is honestly kind of a tough thing. We got no Numenor again this week.
You're right.
So there's only been one episode with Numenor stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, wouldn't hate it if we just nuke Numenor and get them into Middle Earth just so we can have less places.
Yeah.
Because we've got Numenor, Rune, Region, Linden, Woods.
Southlands. And
Southlands, I guess. I just call them Woods.
Yeah.
But if we can get... Because, I mean, you just think of Lord of the Rings. You have Aragorn. You have Frodo. I don't say it.
Well, at most you have like Return of the King gets a little more.
And I guess Two Towers, or you would have
like you have the groups,
imps.
right? You have the Frodo and Sam. You have for a while like Gandalf and Pippin, and then the Rohirrim. But that's kind of, I guess you get Aragorn and Legolas. They end up doing their thing in the
at the most.
Dunharrow.
There's 3 things going on, whereas this one has 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I wouldn't fault a TV show for doing, but it also doesn't feel like the show is taking the time it needs to
in a film
get everything going.
In a film it works because you're giving us 10 or 15 minute things here and there throughout your 2.5 hour runtime. In Lord of the Rings, it's a 4 hour runtime, whatever. But you're giving us an hour of television each week, and you just can't have only 10 minutes of each storyline. 6 storylines, 60 minutes, you're done. Nothing's going to be satisfactory there.
Can you read that for me?
Luke is kind of echoing my point about plot exhaustion, too much happening all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it would be so wonderful, and I don't think anybody would really disagree with this. I think it'd be wonderful if, like with Game of Thrones kind of being in Lord of the Rings, which is, I like both of these shows.
Yeah.
You can even say it about The Acolyte. These shows are too short.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when Daredevil came out and people were like, 13 is just a little too long. And now we've gone down to 8.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's because of Stranger Things. They were like, 8 is perfect.
They keep
ratcheting
ratcheting
the
up
story
the budget,
you
though,
need
too,
to tell
so.
and put it in between there.
Yeah.
If you need 13, do it.
Yeah.
If you have a pretty simple show like Reacher, 8, perfect. Sorry, I hit my mic. It's perfect.
You know what I think would help with Rings of Power, Luke, because you're not getting rid of story. Like maybe by the end of the season you're getting rid of one of those storylines, but I think if you just released 2 episodes a week, and you had all of the storylines represented at least once, I think it would feel better.
I do think that would help. That's a great point.
But
because even like with the premieres, we were like, "Oh, good, we get to see Noir this week."
We get all 3. We got 3 episodes, and you needed all 3.
Yeah.
For it to really feel complete, and now I feel like it might feel like you're just kind of getting really small drip fed, right? Like really itty bitty amounts. So I'm still enjoying it. I didn't hate the episode. I thought the stuff with Tom was great. I'm looking forward to seeing more of what's happening in Rune. Rune. I think that the stuff between Adar and whom Adar encounters at the end of that episode, to stay spoiler free, is going to be really interesting. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited about that. I'm glad we're not just using the orcs as cannon fodder. I think that the fact that they have a storyline is something you can do in the TV series that you couldn't do in the films. Like, that's just not the point of the films.
Watching Lord of the Rings people, I need to like put myself over here in this corner because I love the Lord of the Rings movies. I think it's so cool. I think they're as close as you can get to a perfect movie in a perfect movie trilogy. Yeah. But then I watch all the Lord of the Rings people argue over here. Book readers are not whatever. They all think they're those people. I'm not including you in this.
Sure.
Mainly because you're not talking on Twitter.
Okay.
But like people are like, why do the orcs got babies? That's not how they're made.
Oh yeah.
They're made in mud, and then this person's like, that was actually made up for the movie. But like, keep talking. And like just people going back and forth telling, you're wrong. Kind of enjoy it. Not gonna lie.
No.
And I'm learning things.
Yeah, you learn a whole lot of stuff.
I just like the movies.
One of the most interesting things, if you like, are really nerdy like me, you pay attention to the captions when they're speaking in other languages, like specifically Elvish.
Oh, like the different
There are
Elven
different
language.
kinds of like Elvish languages.
Frania, Sarandirdian.
And so, like,
There's only two I remember.
one of the things that I just talked about with Adar and whom he's with.
Black speech. Not Elvish, but
he's talking in a specific dialect that is important to, like, if the showrunners did their homework, which it seems like they have, that's important. And and it could lead to something really cool. It may lead to nothing, but hyped. Lots of potential.
Yep. I'm excited.
So
I've been enjoying myself.
Yep.
But yeah, there's definitely stuff they can keep improving on.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yep. Alrighty. That brings us to an end of another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. Thank you for watching, hanging out with us in the chat. Thank you for listening or watching on YouTube. Until next week, we'll see you.
Bye.